Hi, this is Julie Mojette Foster, and I am doing my presentation on digital literacy. What is it, and why should we teach it? Here we go. There we go. Okay. So, the American Library Association has a definition of digital literacy, and it does require students to have cognitive and technical skills. So we're asking our kids to be technically savvy, but also smart about what it is they're reading, what it is they're looking up. And this definition is pretty old. This is already 3 years old. So this has been going on for a while. If you want to find out more about what digital literacy is, you can check out these 3 resources. And I was surprised to find everybody has a digital literacy curriculum. I mean, the government does, Microsoft does. There's so many different school districts that do. There's a lot out there. So if teachers are looking to write a digital literacy curriculum, you really don't have to reinvent the wheel. There's so many places that you can go. So what we know what it is, it's kids being able to understand what they're looking for and know how to look for it. But why do we need to teach this? And I did a little YouTube Snagit for you to show an example of this. So let's say you've got a student who's researching Greek wars, right? And they type in Greek wars into their Google search. They click on the first thing they see, and it's from Wikipedia, and it has everything. Now, not only might this overwhelm a student, but one thing they need to notice is that this can be edited by anyone. And I know a lot of kids nowadays know that, but if you look at this carefully, you can see that anyone with an account can come on here and change anything they want. So Wikipedia is not exactly the best source, sometimes maybe, but we got to be really careful about what we're looking at. So let's say they go to a different one. This one's from Crystal Links. It has some pictures, it has some links, it has some information, but who are these people? Advertise on Crystal Links, donate to Crystal Links. I don't know who these people are, so I would think again. So the kid goes back to his search terms, and keep in mind, these are really broad search terms. He just put in Greek wars. How about the most important battles? So this time he's on all that is interesting. Again, very pretty, looks legit. It's got some ads on it, information. It's probably fine. There's the PBH network. Yeah, it's probably fine, but how can we really be sure? We'd have to do a lot of research into that company specifically. So there's a lot of things that kids can be looking at, and we need to we need to teach them what is a reputable site. So with that in mind, here are some reputable sites. If your students are doing history presentation, there's National Geographic for Kids, the Smithsonian, the History Channel. And these aren't just websites. These are organizations. Like the Smithsonian is not a small thing. But here's the catch. Our kids have to know about these reputable organizations that have these reputable websites. So part of digital literacy is it's kind of cultural literacy. We need to know what is out there. We need to be teaching it to our kids. What's a known quantity? What's not a known quantity? Maybe something is a known quantity on the internet, and that's great. But there are plenty of places that are much bigger than a solo website, like, again, the Smithsonian, National Geographic. Those are huge. So I found this on TeachThought that they have this whole huge curriculum, like 39 different items about digital literacy that kids need to know, or that people need to know. And I just snagged this bit about information sources because that's what I'm talking about today. And we need to teach them that there are better ways to find information than not. We need to teach them how to save it. We need to teach them how to read it. What is fact? What is opinion? What is some editorial versus a journalistic article? They need to be careful about what they believe about what they read. I remember, and this is kind of tangential, but my great grandma used to say, only believe half of what you read and none of what you hear. So, whoa, I got really close. All right. So there are also things that we can do in the classroom. We can teach them how to use things like Twitter. In fact, we learned that in this class. You can join groups that already exist. You can go onto Facebook pages that exist for all kinds of different reasons, but this one is my favorite, is the Google Plus communities. You can go on to all kinds of communities of other people who are looking for the same thing that you're looking for. And again, you still have to have the savvy to check it out before you start believing it and citing it. And I know there's some folks that use Instagram, but I don't know. I'm just not a super, I see what kids do on Instagram. Maybe that's my ignorance, but that's probably not my favorite. So I found this great excerpt from Education Week, or I took an excerpt from Education Week Teacher. And it's a lot of words on a page, but I really liked it. And it's about the difference between digital natives and digital immigrants. And it's sort of trying to debunk that myth. And I love this because we're saying all the time, we're saying, oh, because our kids are so good at using iPads or smartphones or computers or whatever, that they're naturally literate or skilled in this. But there is a ton of research out there that says you can't call kids digital natives or digitally literate just because they know how to use a device. Knowing how to use a device doesn't mean they know how to handle the information they access or how to access it. And in fact, that's when our, like it says, so-called digital immigrant parents can be quite handy because they do have the life experience that it takes to sort fact from fiction and to sort of know what websites are more reputable than others. So again, just to wrap up, digital literacy curriculum, there's a ton of it out there. Microsoft has one. Common Sense Media has one. The New York City Department of Education has one. There's a ton of California school districts that have some. Fresno actually had an amazing curriculum laid out, and they did it with the intent of providing Common Core access. And I really, really liked it. In fact, I might even suggest that we take a look at that at my school because it was very thorough and too much to put in a slideshow, but it was great. So Fresno District of Education, it's just amazing. Here are some of the sites that I went to. Oh, whoops, those were out of order. Here, let's look at this. This is the first three that I saw, and then if you go down, and then I have a total of 5 sources here. So that is my presentation on digital literacy. And I actually, even though I know I'm totally late with it, I really did enjoy doing it. I learned a lot for myself. So, and like I said, I will be using a lot of this with my own teachers. Thank you very much.